What does that mean for the arrival of Dajjal?
Well, it's just a matter of there's no like definitive, okay, Dajjal is going to come at this moment when this happened. There are a series of events that are supposed to happen, like other major signs that are supposed to happen before the Dajjal actually comes. One of the major signs is Imam Mahdi. So you've heard of Imam Mahdi.
Right.
Like that is the leader, like he's a human being, just a normal human being that has been born at a certain point. And just when at a certain point, Allah just guides him and designates him as the Imam for the entire Ummah. And Muslims are supposed to follow him. Now, not everyone will necessarily follow him, but but he comes before Dajjal, before the Antichrist comes. And it's known, like in some narrations, that Imam Mahdi is going to be trapped in Masjid al-Aqsa. He's going to be trapped, and the Dajjal is going to be right, imminently going to come in to kill the remaining Muslims that are with the Imam. And that's when Jesus Christ, when Isa alayhi salam, comes and finally slays the Antichrist.
Jesus. So the Christians
Jesus, yeah.
Okay, is the Bible in agreement with this?
The Bible doesn't go into these details, obviously. The Bible has no concept of Imam Mahdi. So it doesn't agree. That what some Christian scholars have said is that the Antichrist is going to be Jewish. And that the promised Messiah of the Jews is actually the Antichrist of the Christians. Some Islamic scholars have said a similar thing. What's interesting is that the Israeli state now is making moves to retake Masjid al-Aqsa and to what they call the Temple Mount and to reestablish the third temple. And their belief is that when the third temple is established, then the Antichrist will come at that point, or what they consider to be the Messiah. So it's interesting how the three religions in their understanding of the Messiah and Jesus and the Antichrist, how they intersect specifically in one geographic region, which is Jerusalem.
Are you guys lagging, yes or no?
Temple Mount, Masjid al-Aqsa. So I think things are getting very interesting. Maybe we're close.
We're close to the end times?
We could be close.
Okay, so what do we do? Do we have should we have a bunch of kids right now? Should we start preparing? Do I move to do I get out of the like what do we do now if the end times are near?
What we should do is prepare in terms of our iman, because when the Antichrist comes, he's going to have a lot of seemingly miraculous things that he can do. And that is why he's called Dajjal. Like Dajjal means deception, Dajjal. It means an inversion of reality. So the Antichrist is going to have all kinds of tricks, and he's going to claim to be the Messiah first of all. And so a lot of people are going to fall for that. And then he's going to claim to be God. He's going to claim to be divine, and he's going to back up these claims with like miraculous things. And if you are a Muslim who's really kind of shaky in his belief, or don't really have solid foundations, then you're liable to fall into his deception and to start following the Antichrist, thinking he's the Messiah or thinking that he is even God or divine. So that's one of the main things. And then also Muslims have to read Surah Al-Kahf. Like, Surah Al-Kahf, about the importance of reading it.
I know. What's Surah Al-Kahf?
It's the 18th chapter of the Quran. And in a authentic narration, there's a few different versions of this narration that this is one of the ways to protect yourself against the Antichrist, is to read the 18th chapter of the Quran, or to read the first 10 verses of it, or the last 10 verses of it. So for me, for example, I'll sometimes read on Friday specifically. Read it on Fridays. So my practice is after Salatul Jumu'ah, after the Friday prayer, there's 10 verses at the beginning of Surah Al-Kahf and 10 verses at the end of Surah Al-Kahf. I just read those every Friday, and I read them with my kids as well. And this is also a very important way to protect yourself from the deception of the Dajjal, the fitna of the Dajjal. And also, if you've memorized, I don't know if you've memorized this yet, but there's a dua specifically that you recite in the tashahhud. not Ayatul Kursi, but like, you know, in the prayer, like when you're sitting at the end, like the last unit of prayer. And
Yeah, so I do work on it.
Exactly. So there's certain dua that you can recite at the end, like asking Allah to protect us from the fitna of different things, including like the fitna of the grave, like the qabr, and then also of the Antichrist. So you can recite that. It's authentic sunnah to recite that. You can find the Arabic very easily and memorize it.
Oh, they say Dajjal in that surah. They say Atahiyatu Dajjal. So what does that mean? Like you seek refuge from Dajjal?
Yeah, you seek refuge in Allah from the fitna of Dajjal.
So they finished that conversation, so we're not gonna learn from that conversation anymore. Okay, I think they will discuss about these things in another stream, and I will upload it